And welcome back to Pokemon Team Videos. Today's Pokemon Team video comes from me, from my personal list of characters I have lined up. If someone had given me the suggestion as well, I would have completely given them the credit for it. But along with the suggested characters I have for any, of my lineup of videos that deal with that, I also have a personal list. I'm like, these are characters I want to talk about, do things for, do these videos for, so forth and so on. So, I've already done the Big G's team, let's do the Big K's team. What is King Kong's Pokemon team? Now, King Kong provided a kind of unique challenge. When you first think King Kong, you're thinking, oh, well, he's just going to put all the 8 Pokemon on his team. And I very well could have done that, because we have Primate, we have Rillaboom. Spoilers, at least a couple of the 8 Pokemon will be on the team. But we have Rillaboom, we have Oranguru, we have, what was the other one? Passimian. We have all 3 of the apes from Unova. We have Apom and Pom. So I could very well have done a full, monkey ape team for Kong. But that would have just been boring. So I want to try to at least look a bit more into Kong's character to some degree, one way or the other. So without further ado, let's get into this then. Now, like I said, a couple of the ones I listed, especially the 8 Pokemon, are going to be on the team, admittedly. And the first one is Rillaboom. Rillaboom, not surprisingly, is based, at least in name, based off of Gorilla. Gorilla, Rilla, Boom, obviously. Now, the theory with the grass starters, though, much like how there's a theory with the water and the fire starters, is that all the final evolutions are, in fact, based on extinct creatures. Gigantopithecus would be a giant ape that this would have been based off of. But obviously, the big inspiration also comes from a gorilla. You go from a Grookey, which is monkey and groove, Thwackey, again, monkey. But then you go into Rilla, which is part of gorilla's name. And this makes sense, too. It's a grass type. Kong is very natural, primitive animal, very in tune with nature. And it wields a weapon. In this case, it wields a drum, whereas Kong in Skull Island wields Godzilla vs. Kong wields an axe. Now, we've also seen Kong use other tools too, so it's not out of the realm of possibility to say that you could make the analogs there. Another primate Pokemon that I wanted to put on the team was, admittedly, there's only one gorilla Pokemon, admittedly. Was Oranguru. Now, Oranguru obviously is based off an orangutan, not so much a gorilla, but is a primate, so I felt it was still prudent for the team. But I also like the fact that being a psychic type means it does represent a bit more of the intelligence of Kong. Kong is, among the Titans and among some of the kaijus, one of the smarter kaijus, being a kaiju based off a gorilla, based off a primate, which has heightened intelligence to begin with. Add on the fact that it's a primate, it's a Pokemon that actually, it's a primate and a Pokemon. It's a Pokemon that is very well capable of using tools, much like Kong uses tools very much in the more recent films, that I felt the parallels between them were very accurate and, warranted to put Oranguru on the team. So next up, we have the only other primate Pokemon on the team. I know, only 3? What's wrong with this man? Well, here's what's wrong with me. It's that when I looked at all the other primate Pokemon besides this one, I realized that there wasn't really a good fit beyond this one, because they're all no longer apes, they're monkeys. So right off the bat, that doesn't work. This is the only other one that I could remember, that I could find, that still qualifies as both a primate Pokemon. That is Primeape. Now this, obviously, it's kind of Primeape is very weird. It is technically a monkey, or an ape, to be sure, but what Mankey and Primeape actually kind of are is very weird. They're basically these balls of fur with a little pig nose, but are technically apes. And I mean, for that alone, it counts. But more importantly, it's also a fighting type. Kong is predominantly a very melee-based fighter. And the shackles on its wrist, the cuffs, if you will, on its wrist, do play a little factor into the lore of Kong, where Kong got, chained up. And brought over to the new world. So in that sense too, Primate is not a bad option. It represents the more primal aspect of Kong. It is an ape. It's a fighting type, so it represents the melee prowess of Kong. And the cuffs around his wrists do have the lore factor to it as well. So that was all the 8 Pokemon I really felt worked on the team. Now we get to the other 3 Pokemon on the team. Now, this next one, you're really going to have to bear with the lore a little bit. It's mammalian, so it does have an ape-like appearance, to be sure. But this one, let's just get to it before I actually explain it. Electivire. Why Electivire? Well, in both Godzilla vs. Kong, both versions, electricity does seem to play a factor with Kong. In the newest one, it restarts his heart. But in the original version, they even said Kong has electromagnetic properties, apparently. Lightning seems to boost Kong's power. Now, why that was the case, no one ever explained. But I felt like that little bit of niche lore was enough to be warranted to putting Electivire on team. Again, it's also mammalian and somewhat primate looking in its own way. So I thought Electivire, not a bad option. I also felt, and I don't do this very often, but we had to basically put a mon on the team that represented the rivalry / respect and ultimate cooperation it shows with Godzilla. We had to have a Tyranitar on the team. And again, I don't usually have a Pokemon that represents someone's rival very much, unless that rival is very key to them, and there's a definitive Pokemon to represent the rival. In Kong's case, that was very much so. There was a Pokemon that represented Kong's rival very much in Godzilla, and it's Tyranitar. I felt no doubt that had to be it. So, that brings us to the final Pokemon, and this one I was struggling with. Like the first 3, that was relatively simple. Well, the second 2, all right, that one put some difficulty in there, but all right, this last one I had to think on. Like, okay, what else about Kong is there? Well, yeah, he's smart, he's caring, he can actually show sympathy for humans, but that doesn't really represent very well towards Pokemon. Well, I mean, it does and it doesn't. I can't think of a Pokemon specifically for that. I'm like, okay, what about the axe he wielded in Godzilla vs. Kong? Well, they haven't done a regional Honedge yet, which is an axe, not a sword. I'm waiting for that, by the way. A regional Honedge that is an axe, not a sword, or some other weapon, not a sword. There's plenty of fan art of that. There's one for Norse Pokemon region, one based off Mjolnir, one based off Maui's fishhook and Maui lore. So yeah, I mean, seriously, get on that, Game Freak. But yeah, there is no axe-based Pokemon, so I'm like, all right, I'm not going to just give him a Honedge, because that doesn't make any sense. But I'm thinking, okay, what else is there with Kong? I mean, well, there's him going there, there's him going to the real world, and going up the Empire State Building and falling to his death. That's how he died. And I stopped and thought a little bit more on it. I was like, well, he was the one who got the kill in on Mechagodzilla. Is there something I can do there? And ultimately, I realized I have a kind of two-way perfect combo for this. Not only do we kind of have a Mechagodzilla stand-in, as we know that Duraludons are direct rivals to Tyranitars in the Galar region, but the Gigantamax form of Duraludon is a fucking skyscraper. So this is perfect. This is literally perfect. It is the skyscraper and the Mechagodzilla Pokemon that to warrant, him dominating Mechagodzilla. Well, and for anyone who gets on the film skins how can Godzilla beat him but not beat Mechagodzilla, but him beat Mechagodzilla? If you're paying attention and not just fan raging out, it's very clear why that was. First off, none of them Godzilla was already tired the hell out. Second off, Kong was tired the hell out. He was still getting his ass kicked until he's still getting his ass kicked until Godzilla basically powered up the axe. That was basically it. He only won because of Godzilla. So if anyone was getting on people like the movie's case for that, or still doing that, first off, grow up. But second off, it's no, that's not what happened at all if you're paying attention. Seriously. But anyway, yeah, Gigantamax Duraludon, I think, is the perfect representation of both the Empire State Building, the end of Kong, ultimately in the end of his run, and is the fact that he was the one who ultimately got the dominating win over Mechagodzilla in the end. So yeah, I think that is our Kong team. We have Rillaboom, Primate, and Oranguru represent the ape aspects and a few other little niche aspects of Kong. Electivire to represent the relationship, quote unquote, you can't see my quotation mark fingers here, with electricity, and his somewhat ape physiology. Then Tyranitar and Mechagodzilla to represent the relationship he has with those two, and the ultimate fate he had on the Empire State Building, at least in the original movies. We have no idea if they go that route with this new Kong. The likelihood is no. That doesn't seem to be where they're going with this one, which is good, because we really have come to like Kong quite a bit. But yeah, that is King Kong's Pokemon team, in my opinion. But that is just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below if you think different. And if you do, that's cool. But like, comment, share, subscribe. I do hope you enjoyed. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. I'll be back later because I've got Box Office, which is now up. What If? And I have a special birthday who would when I got to do. So I got quite a bit to do today. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.